Welcome. This is a review of the homework from last night, which has the elements for your quiz today. So if you look at this first example, we have y equals x plus 5. So y is already by itself. So m equals 1 over 1 and b equals 5. So this line starts at 5. It goes up 1 and over 1 all the way through. So you can see all these dots are possible answers. Our second line, the slope is 4 over 1, and the b value is negative 1. So that line starts at negative 1, which is our b value. Then we would go up 4 spaces and over 1, up 1, 2, 3, 4, over 1. And that's where these two lines intersect. So this point right here is your final answer. And that point, as coordinates, would be 2, 7. Okay? Now, in our second example, what we have here is we have to get y by itself in both cases. So, for our first line here, which I'll do in blue, to get y by itself, I'm going to first move the 3x over. So, right now it's 3x minus y equals negative 2. I'm going to subtract 3x over. So this becomes negative y equals negative 3x minus 2. Then I'm going to divide out this negative from everything. So y equals 3x plus 2. So in this case, my b value is 2, so the graph starts at 2, and the slope is 3 over 1, so I'd go up 1, 2, 3, over 1, up 1, 2, 3, over 1, or down 1, 2, 3, over 1, down 1, 2, 3, over 1, down 1, 2, 3, and over 1. Now my second line is 5x plus y equals negative 6. To get y by itself there, I have to move 5x to the other side. So y equals negative 5x minus 6. So this graph starts at negative 6. It then would go down 5 spaces, which would go off the graph, and over 1. Or I can go up 5 spaces and left 1. And right there, as soon as I do that, they intersect each other. So the intersection point here is negative 1, negative 1. So that's my final answer to that. Now the next set of questions is actually on substitution. Now the way substitution works is you have to solve for one of the variables and then substitute it into your other equation. So if you look at number 3, y is already solved for us in that second case. So what I'm going to do is substitute that in to our first case. This becomes negative 4x minus 3 parentheses x plus 2, because I'm taking out the y and putting in the x plus 2 equals negative 6. You distribute the negative 3, so this becomes negative 4x minus 3x minus 6 equals negative 6. You put your like terms together, so this becomes negative 7x minus 6 equals negative 6. Add 6 to the other side. Negative 7x equals 0. To get x by itself, you would divide by negative 7. So x equals 0. So that's one of your answers. To find the other answer, you would take that, plug it in. So y equals 0 plus 2. So y equals 2. And then you just write your answer as an ordered pair, 0, 2. Now in number 4, again, we're lucky because y has already been solved for us. So we're going to take that y, plug it in. So negative 2x plus 2, and then I'm going to take out y and put in x plus 5 equals 2. You would distribute 2 to your parentheses. So negative 2x plus 2x plus 10 equals 2. Now in this case, the variables actually cancel each other out. Negative 2x and positive 2x cancel. And I'm left with 10 equals 2. because that's a false statement and the variables have canceled, your answer is no solution, which you're free to write the symbol for no solution as well. Now, in number 5, we have to pick a variable to solve for. Now, in this case, you can either solve for x or y on the bottom. Solving for x or y on top is a little more difficult because there's a number with the variable. So I'm going to pick to solve for y in this case. To get that y by itself, I would subtract x. So y equals negative x plus 7. I would then take this y and plug it in. So negative 6x plus 3, parentheses, negative x plus 7 equals negative 24. I would distribute the 3 to my parentheses. So negative 6x minus 3x plus 21 equals negative 24. Negative 9x, because I put my like terms together, plus 21 equals negative 24. Subtract 21 over, so negative 9x equals negative 45. Then you would divide out the negative 9, so x equals 5, which again is half of your answer. Now I would take this and plug it back into one of the equations. I'm going to plug it back into this equation here. So this would be y equals negative, and x is 5, plus 7. And negative 5 plus 7 is 2, so y equals 2. So that leads me to my final answer of 5, 2. Now in 6, I would actually solve for the x in the second case, because that x is really easy to get by itself. To solve for this x, I would subtract 7y equals negative 22. And now I'm going to take this x and plug it into the other equation, which is the top equation in this case. So this would become negative 2, parentheses, negative 7y plus negative 22 minus 4y equals 4. You would distribute the negative 2, so this becomes 14y plus 44, negative 2 times negative 22 is positive 44, minus 4y equals 4. Put your y's together, 10y plus 44 equals 4. You would then subtract the 44 over, so 10y equals negative 40, so y equals negative 4. Now if y equals negative 4, to find x, you just plug it into the top. Negative 7 times negative 4 is positive 28, and positive 28 plus negative 22 is 6, so that leads us to our answer of 6, negative 4. Now, in number 7, y is already solved for us in the top case. So again, we're going to use that. And y equals negative 2. So I'm just going to plug that in to my second case. So 6x minus 5, parentheses, negative 2 equals negative 14. So 6x plus 10 equals negative 14. Subtract 10. So 6x equals negative 24. So x equals negative 4. Now, I already knew what y equaled. Y was negative 2. So that's my final answer now. 4, negative 2. And the last one we have here is number 8. I'm going to solve for y in the second case. To solve for that y, I would add 4x over. So y equals 4x minus 12. I'm going to take this y and plug it into your top equation. 3x plus 3, parentheses, 4x minus 12 equals negative 21. Distribute the 3. So 3x plus 12x minus 36 equals negative 21. This would be 15x. You would add 36 over equals 15. So x equals 1. And if x equals 1, to find y, plug that in. 4 times 1 minus 12. So y equals negative 8. So our final answer is 1, negative 8. Okay. Take your time. Good luck on your quiz. Be careful about your signs in each question. And remember to check an answer. You just take your point and plug it back in for x and y and make sure it works.